30 dubs, nigga.
Yeah, I gotta do this over here. Yeah, I skipped School Street and I skipped Dirt Road. Bro.
Yeah, you tripping.
And now, being that it's so close to 420, it brings back little memories for me. And do I recommend smoking? No, I don't. I don't care who you are. I don't recommend smoking. Stay on your A game when you ain't smoking. Now, being that it's so close to 420, like I was saying, it just got me thinking about how, and I live in California, so weed is legal, marijuana is legal out here. And that just got me thinking how the game has changed as far as the whole weed game out here. And I made a video about this before, as far as when it switched from LG to purple, but how weed always been hella accessible out here for us, whether it's legal or illegal. You know, if you want to smoke weed, you smoked every day. It didn't even really matter. But now that it's legal, it's even really more plentiful. Just too plentiful. It's like amazement to people from other places when they come out here, as y'all already know. But anyway, that got me thinking again, like I said, on how it used to be. So this video, I figure I mentioned maybe about 5 or 6 spots out here in the town that was known for the tree, where and again, how should I put this? Each particular spot I'm gonna name had they run, whether simultaneously together or at different periods, but these was notable places in their day. Now again, like I said, weed is legal now, so you pretty much can get it anywhere out here, regardless where you at. So it's a little different, and I'm sure even if you go to these same areas I mentioned, you can get it too, again, because it's fucking legal. But anyway, let me continue. Now, oh yeah, I'm mentioning the city of Oakland, like I said again. Now, I'm going to start off in East Oakland, being that East Oakland is bigger, and traditionally, that's where most of the tree was in the town. Now, not all, because you had tree on the other sides of town, but it's a little different, and I'll mention that later how. But the East was where it was at, and where it's still at in a lot of ways. But anyway, let me get started now. And another thing, I'm not about to mention everywhere, because like I said, the East always had it. So if I don't mention your area, don't say, man, I don't know what I'm talking about or whatever. But I bet these places I named, whether you went there or not, you know about them, and you know them guys had it. So let me get started. The first place to come to mind for me, y'all, is Douglas. Now, for those who don't know, Douglas is a block on the borderline of Brookfield and Sobrani. I think it's on the Brookfield side. Now, when I lived out that way, when I was in the deep, and I'm with Cuzzo and them, we was pulling up there. They had a cool little run. At that time, I was going there. They had some nice ones. And this was back then, so they wasn't no points. These was grams, little more than grams. I forget what the price was, but we was getting dub sacks or whatever. We was getting 10 bags too, but regardless, Douglas. The next spot, since I'm on that side, I'm gonna come on down. I'm gonna talk 8-9. 8-9, the alphabets. On down. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, I had paroled over there on Rudsdale, so I got Cuzzos in that area too. So for a cool little minute, I was running up over there getting bags. And for about 2 years, I stayed on 9 on B. So I definitely was over there. But for a cool little minute, they had it. Them guys over there had it. I was going over there and the apartment C faithfully. But now, next, 8-4 and Dowling. Hell yeah. Now again, like I said, whether you went to these areas or not, y'all know them guys had it. I remember we used to go there all the time back in the day. We in Stolos back to back, parking on the side on Dowling, then walking up, copping. And I even remember a time we was over there in the front on the 4 and 5-0 hit. And it's 3 cars. It's us and it's 2 other cars. They all copping, 5-0 hitting the boys. So you got one black and white, he pull up first. And he looking at the 3 cars. He trying to figure out which car to hit. And everybody hesitating. We all hesitating. And police, he hit the first car. We in the middle. Everybody get up out of there. And the other police coming down. So we get up out of there. But 8-4 and Dowling, I definitely used to go up over there for a minute. Everybody know what I'm talking about, man. That 8-4 and Dowling, they definitely had it for a cool little minute. The next spot, and again, like I said, if I don't mention your area, because even when I'm mentioning this, I'm thinking of other areas right over there, but I'm mentioning notable places for me. But anyway, next off, speaking of notable places, you can always count on Greenside, 77 Greenside, y'all, and the name says it all. From back in the LG days, light green. Now, one thing about Greenside, when I don't know where to go get nothing and cop, and I'm just riding in the east to the east, you can always count on Greenside. They had it. Whether you go on the other way, Parker, on Main, or right there. Them guys had it. You already know what I'm talking about. You can always count on Greenside for sure that. The next area, let me see as we moving on down. Now this is a special area for me, y'all. 4-8. 4-8. What y'all know about 4-8? And if you ask me, shit, at one time 4-8 was yanking harder than anybody. And I know I'm gonna get pushed back on that, but man, like again, I'm biased. But 4-8, everybody know people used to come from far and wide up to the 8. I'm talking about all groups, from Mexicans, Asians, everybody used to come to the 8, man. Straight up. Now that's it for the East. Now I know people gonna say, man, they got it in the dubs and trust me, y'all know. Matter of fact, I may mention something about that later in this video. But that's it for the East for now. Now, we going to the other side, to the west and to the north. Now, I mentioned earlier it's a little different than the East because, for one, the East is bigger. And the spots I mentioned, them are, like I said, notable. Them was pull-up spots. Now, being that the West and North is smaller, the politics, I'm just going to say it's a little different. So it ain't too many pull-up spots. You either got to know where to go or know somebody. Now, again, this was back then. We legal now, so it's pretty much everywhere. We in Cali. But now, there is a few places that if you know, you know. 15th and Center. Two-four. Again, like I said, the West and the North is different. The politics is different. So, because when I'm thinking of it, I'm thinking of people. I'm not really thinking of places to pull up. So, let me continue. And if I don't mention your section or whatever, of course, again, like I said, just certain notable places. Apgar, 3800. That was for a good minute. You know, you can, again, like now, weed is legal, so you can pretty much get it anywhere. You know, every place I name, I'm sure you can find. Like I said, it's everywhere. But again, them was a few little spots I mentioned. And in the north, the ice definitely, we can get it. But again, like I said, me personally, I'm thinking of people when I think of that side of town, those sides of town. Now, again, y'all, I just want to just share that real quick. Everybody from the town know, whether you went there or not, them are places back in the day where they had it. From the LG era on to the grapes. And again, I can say modern day, but that's everywhere. So that don't really mean the same as what I'm talking about back then, y'all, man. And another thing, like I said, I didn't mention every spot. So I know somebody may have something to say, like I didn't mention this place, I didn't mention that place, like how when I skipped the Dubs. So let me go back to that. Now the Dubs had 2-8 East 22nd to Hill, and this I want to get into. I want to talk about, I mentioned the dope weed spots. Now I'm going to give a shout out to the old school Bammer spots. If you're in the town, you already know. Those who know Bammer is cess weed. Old school Mexican cess weed back in the day. Now, everybody know about Seb 1. That's like the original, as long as I can remember, Seb 1. Then, you had 6-4. Now, depending on where you at, and I don't mention your area, I don't know. These are the notable. Like I said, anywhere in the town, these areas I'm about to name, you already know. Now, 6-4. I had partners catching a bus all the way from the other side to go to 6-4. Until East 22nd. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Them are the main three, in my opinion, old school Bammer spots that was in the town back in the day. Now again, like I said, these spots I mentioned, they all had their time at different periods of time. So some of them may have ran simultaneously, like they had it at the same time they had it, or some different in different periods, different eras. Which brings up another thing, since we're talking about tree in the town, and I'm naming notable areas, I can't leave out the old school red fence. Everybody already know that. To me, that's like damn near the first weed spot in the town, Just say it, as far, especially in modern era, that's like the original. Everybody know, even out of state, red fence. I mean, cats, are you from Oakland? The red fence. Kind of like Too Short. Did you know Too Short? Or the red fence? So, definitely a shout out to the red fence, we already know. And again, I ain't mention every spot, because now other spots coming ahead. But again, man, this is just back then. Like I said, weed is legal now, so it ain't no thing now. But everybody know, if you from town, you from Oakland, little areas I mentioned once upon a time. If you stimulate your mind, you definitely went to probably one of them spots. And if I left something out, you can put it in the comments, man. And I just wanted to share that real quick with y'all, man, for this good 420 thing, man. I look like my cuzzo coming right now. Nigga, shut the fuck up, fool. Nigga, you know you didn't, nigga. I'd have zapped your ass. Man, y'all go hit that like and dislike, man. For sure.